Hi guys, welcome back, or welcome if you're new here and we are meeting for the first time. I'm back today to bring you my second trimester recap video. The first trimester recap video is up, so if you haven't seen that and that's something you're interested in, go and check it out before coming to this one. So once again, I have been updating my bump to birth journal all throughout my pregnancy, and this is kind of what I use as a guide to document my first trimester and now my second. At the time of filming this video, I am 31 weeks, so now in my third trimester. I'm starting to slowly catch up and I'm not as behind as I was initially. So last time we spoke about symptoms and cravings and like body changes, and for this video I'm going to rename that food, mood and boobs. My first trimester compared with my second trimester has been quite dramatically different, like a lot has changed, and I've kind of documented this in chronological order as best as I can as well. So when I moved into my second trimester, the first thing I noticed is that I had very itchy boobs, and I would literally get to the end of every day and I would take my bra off and I'd be like going crazy on them, which is not very good. I did try creams, I tried different bras, different clothes, and nothing seemed to be helping. So that was really annoying. But that kind of, I'd say, towards the end of my second trimester, that wasn't something that I noticed anymore. And at this one, I kind of feel like, if you know me well, this goes without saying because it's something that I often complain about a lot, and that is just fatigue. I'm just so tired. I nap for like a good 2 to 3, I'd say like 2 hours per day in the afternoon. And the problem is as well, like, you don't sleep very well at night because you're trying to get comfy and you need to go to the toilet, so that also doesn't help, I guess. But I've been feeling really tired. What I found really difficult is not being able to do the things that I used to do. I have no problems accepting help from people, but I do struggle with asking, and it's just things like walking longer distances I'm finding quite tough. Household chores I'm finding really tough. I just find that I can't do the same as what I used to. Just things like driving. I have to do a lot of driving for my job, and I'm just finding it difficult, like, to travel, to drive, to be a passenger in a car, and that's something that I've struggled with a little bit. Now, I did say in my first trimester that I was not sick at all. I did struggle really badly with nausea, and I should probably insert a trigger warning right here, because I'm going to be talking about, of course, sickness. So in my second trimester, almost straight away the sickness started coming, but thankfully I was only sick, like, throughout my whole pregnancy I've been sick like maybe 3 or 4 times, and I did find a trigger for that. It did seem to be, you know, typically they call it morning sickness. It's not morning sickness, it's all day sickness, but for me it was morning sickness because I would find that I felt the most ill when I had just woken up in the morning and I hadn't had anything to eat yet. I found that when I have an empty stomach, that's when I felt the most sick, or was the most sick. So my advice to any expecting parents out there would be to, if you don't feel like eating, just try. It really helps with the sickness, and just snack. Just put a grape or a strawberry or something in your mouth. It will really help. So because I was able to find the trigger to that quite soon, I was able to kind of prevent it, I suppose, and maybe that's why I haven't been as sick. But yeah, there was a couple of times that I was sick. Thankfully I was always kind of near a toilet, or I was at home or something, And also, this is like a really strange fact about me, and it's kind of gross, but something that I'm really good at is holding in my sick. Like, I can hold in my sick like I can hold in a wee. There was one time when I was sick when I was driving my car and I had to swallow it. I'm so sorry. I can kind of laugh about it now, but thankfully the rest of this journey has been sick free. So that part is over. Feel free to carry on watching. So the next, again, it's something I complain about a lot, is I have really bad acid reflux. The midwife tells me that it's heartburn, but I'm not feeling anything here. It's literally like right in my throat. Really bad acid reflux. It burns, it hurts. I'm taking Gaviscon and Rennies because they are safe when you're pregnant. It's worse when I eat. It's just something I can't really avoid. Supposedly I'm gonna have a baby with a lot of hair. If any of you guys are an expert, please shed some light on this. Like, is acid reflux the same sensation as like heartburn? Is this normal? So next, yeah, in my second trimester, probably towards like the middle to later stages, I've started to feel quite uncomfortable. Like I'm having a lot of like muscle and joint pain, particularly like my upper inner thighs, especially when I have to wake up in the night, like when I'm laying down and then I get out of bed. I'm feeling like it basically just, sorry, acid reflux. It basically just feels like I've been to the gym the day before, like just feeling quite achy. So when I was 20 weeks, I started to feel quite disheartened by the fact that I wasn't able to feel any movements or any kicks, but that is quite common when it's a first pregnancy. So usually if you've had pregnancies before, you tend to feel movements a bit earlier on, like probably around the 20-week mark, but I didn't start feeling any movements until like 24 weeks. But I actually have an anterior placenta, so a lot of the movements were probably cushioned by the placenta, and especially, you know, at 20 weeks, because baby is still quite little, the movements are very light anyway. But feeling the movements and kicks was something that I was always really looking forward to experiencing. And I was kind of like every day just kind of waiting and being like, was that a kick? Was that a kick? Was that a movement? And, you know, people would say to me, oh, it feels like butterflies, or it feels like wind or gas, or it feels like popcorn popping in your belly. And I was like, I've not felt that. So one thing that I would say is, when you feel baby move, you do just know. Sometimes you can quite easily confuse it for like gas bubbles in your belly, but when it happens you will know, especially because as pregnancy goes on there is a bit more of like a routine to their movements. Like baby is always really active at like 9 to 10 o'clock at night, and whenever I'm laying still I feel like or sitting like this, I feel a lot of movements. I feel a lot of movements when I'm on my side as well. If I'm like laying on my side on the sofa or in bed or something, I feel loads of movement then. Getting up in the night to go to the toilet a lot, particularly towards the end of my second trimester, literally waking up every hour probably, and I feel like a lot of pressure on my bladder. What I have found is I sometimes feel like I'm dying to go to the toilet. Like I'm literally gonna pee myself if I don't go to the toilet right now. And then I go to the toilet and I'm like, really? That's it? That's all it was? And I'm guessing it's just because of the pressure on my bladder. It just feels like I'm bursting, but I may not be. I don't have any like UTIs or bladder infections or anything, so it is just simply the position of baby. But again, that's really annoying because my sleep during the night is interrupted, and I'm quite fatigued as it is without having to nap during the day. But my midwife kind of joked with me, you know, baby's just getting you ready for when they're here, waking you up every hour during the night. So I suppose I better get used to it. quite a reduced appetite. I have spoken about this before. I've really just not felt very hungry. Sometimes, if anything, the thought of food or eating food makes me feel quite sick. But it's just something that I've kind of adapted to. I know what kind of foods can tempt me to eat. I try to eat little and often. I don't really have meals particularly. It's just something that I've learnt to cope with. I know that at the end of the day, I might eat some quite unusual things at quite unusual times of the day, but ultimately I know that I am getting the correct amount of like energy and stuff into my body for me and for baby, so that's the most important thing to me. Interestingly, when I got to around 26 weeks pregnant, I noticed that baby was starting to actually respond to noises outside of my belly. So when like if there's a particularly like loud noise that comes up on the telly, like, you know, when you're watching TV at a comfortable volume and then there's just like one part of the film that's like dramatically loud for no reason whatsoever, like baby starts like to kick quite a lot when I have any loud noises around me. And another thing that baby does that I really love is whenever I talk to my belly, I don't get a response, but when baby's dad speaks to my belly, immediately they start kicking, which I think is really sweet, because it's nice, you know, when you're growing a baby inside you for 9 months, you know, you have that bond with your baby, and sometimes I kind of feel like my partner's missing out quite a bit, but actually they kind of have their own special connection anyway because they respond to his voice, but it's not really that bothered by me, so they're like, we've both kind of got our own separate bonds, so that's really nice. That makes me so happy. So those were all of my symptoms. I'm going to talk to you about my cravings. So my cravings, I had almost like a different craving every single week of my second trimester. So, and in no particular, no, oh my god. Okay, the mirror just fell down beside me and gave me like the biggest shock of my life. Please wait while I recover. Okay, and can anyone tell me why that keeps happening? Because there is a hook up there. I don't know how this mirror is managing to fall down. There is a hook that's still intact, so any DIYers out there, please shed some light. Okay, we're going to start again. Cravings. And this is in order of when I experienced them. So this is a really common one that you guys know by now. Watermelon and mango. I have it every day. That has not changed. I'm still craving it now. I craved strawberries with whipped cream from a can on toasted waffles. I craved a lot of hot chocolate, and that's something that I drank quite a lot when I was on my placement. Blueberry muffins, I like to have those. I went through a stage of having a hot chocolate and a blueberry muffin for my breakfast. And another thing that I really enjoyed on placement, and this was like the perfect for me because I wasn't really wanting to eat meals, so this was a really great snack, but I used to love having rice cakes with peanut butter and cut up banana slices on top. That was really nice. Wagamamas, when I was up for eating a meal or eating something savoury, I loved Wagamamas, and my partner loves Wagamamas as well, so there were no complaints. But I actually felt baby kick for the first time when we went out to dinner there, and I'm convinced that baby is gonna be a fan of Wagamamas when they grow up, because every time we eat food from there they just start kicking loads, and I know that could just be them responding to my stomach noises from eating, but I like to think that they have good taste. Flavoured water, I really liked putting like slices of fruit in water, so grapefruit, lemon or lime, cucumber and mint, strawberry, I think that's about it. I liked buying flavoured water from the shops, and sparkling water as well that was flavoured I really liked. I started to enjoy lemonade, like Sprite, 7 Up. I liked lemonade, which I've never liked before, by the way. I've always really disliked it. So I was drinking that a fair bit. Nutella and pancakes, the Cadbury's like chocolate mini rolls, the individually like wrapped ones. I ate a lot of those, which is a really great snack. I also craved peaches and nectarines. Oh, grapefruit. I loved grapefruit. Grapefruit, I was mad for it. Oh, I think like one savoury thing that I did enjoy a lot of was I really liked pesto. So like pesto pasta mixed in with pine nuts, chicken mixed in with pesto in a wrap, which you've probably seen me eating a lot of and making. So that was an interesting savoury one. Just anything chocolate. And another savoury thing that I really liked was like crisps dipped in salsa sauce. So like Doritos, just the plain like original salted, with in like a salsa sauce. I really enjoyed that. In terms of like body changes, I've not noticed anything. My skin has started to clear up a fair bit. In my first trimester, I was very spotty and pale and dry and just ill and sickly looking like a Victorian child. But now I feel like my skin is much better on my face anyway. I'm still quite dry everywhere else. I started to have a bit of a baby bump maybe around 20 weeks. So I was really, it sounds strange, but every day I'd wake up and I'd look at my belly in the mirror and I'd be like a bit disheartened that there wasn't like a very obvious bump showing. But I kind of feel like my stomach was flat, and then one day I woke up and it was there. Like there was no gradual bump, like it was just there one day. And when I did start to show, I'd say like I was maybe, we can't really compare, can we? But I'd say like I think a lot of people close to me were quite shocked at how big they felt my belly was compared to how early on I was in my pregnancy. So no bump, all of a sudden a very big one. And also where I started to show quite big, I feel like I didn't see like any gradual growing of my bump. It stayed like the same size for ages. And I would say now that I'm 31 weeks, so between being 20 weeks and 30 weeks, I've only noticed like another kind of growth spurt like very recently. So I think my bump size was the same for quite a long time, like a couple of months. Again, no changes to my boobs. Oh, I don't know if you can see when my hair is like this, but I have noticed that my hairline is not good. I don't even know how to say it. So when I like, especially because I'm trying not to wash my hair so much, so what I will do is when my hair starts to get really oily, I literally go slick Rick and scrape it back. But I've noticed that like I'm almost kind of receding on this side, or like this side comes back further than it does on this side. I don't know if you can see that. And even here, like I feel like my hairline has gone really like uneven. And I know sometimes in pregnancy you can like lose a bit of hair, but I think that kind of postpartum, I think you can grow quite a lot of hair, which is so unfair, by the way, because my hair, like everywhere else on my body, grows back really quickly, which is such an inconvenience because I can't exactly reach very well now. Like, do you know what I mean? So I wish it could have been like the other way around. I wanted to do like a quick mental health update because I spoke a little bit in my last video about how I was feeling and what I was experiencing. So I think I'm not gonna I mean, a lot of stuff was going on in my life at the time, like I did mention. So I work full time, I'm a student, I was on placement for pretty much the whole of my second trimester. And it was a placement that I found like quite stressful and difficult. And I think like everything was just getting on top of me. But my mental health, again, I went through a period of it like being really quite bad. And thankfully my midwife referred me to the perinatal mental health team. Yeah, and so she did a mental health referral for me, which I was kind of disappointed with, because it was online, like on video, and I promise I'm not exaggerating, I'm being 100% truthful, because I kind of like, it was on like a video call platform, so I was able to see how long my appointment was, but it was 5 minutes, and they basically just asked me, what are you worried about? And it really disappointed me, because like I said, I'm training to be a nurse, and I work with people who struggle with their mental health, and it just really upset me. I took it quite personally that in my job I help people, but then when the people who help people need help, they don't get help. Do you know what I mean? It was really quite a disappointing experience, and I just feel that the fact that it took place over video compared to like face to face, when you see someone face to face, you can tell if they are, you know, not dressed appropriately, if their hair is unclean or untidy, or, you know, if they're not keeping up with personal hygiene. And there's just so much more that you can pick up on when you see someone face to face. And don't get me wrong, I completely understand why these things are done. A lot of these things are done virtually now, and they are a service that are under a lot of pressure and a lot of demand, and they're able to kind of reach more people by doing things virtually. But I was really quite disappointed, and so basically the outcome of the appointment was that they were going to discharge me. I don't disagree with their decision to discharge me. I just keep thinking to myself, I just need baby to be born and then I will be fine. I know that's not the case, but that's right now how I'm feeling. Like, the idea that they're going to be born and brought into this world is enough to give me hope and to like give my mood a bit of a lift, and I really enjoy bonding with them. Like, I love every kick and every movement that I feel. So I think for that reason they may have discharged me. Thankfully I'm in a much better place at the moment, and I just have so much to look forward to, and that's what I'm focusing on right now. Hello again, guys. Sorry to kind of cut you off so abruptly there. I was just editing the video and I realised I just kind of finished things off like so abrupt, and I didn't mean to, and I wanted to like properly actually like sign off and end the video. So that's why I look like this, and that's why this looks like this. So I just wanted to kind of round things off and just say a big thank you to like literally anybody who clicks on any of my videos, and I'm really appreciative of like every single thumbs up, every comment, because I'm creating these videos to kind of document my own journey, and I want to be able to have something to look back on and kind of reflect, but also at the same time I'd be so happy to connect with you guys and share experiences and, you know, things like that. So every kind of interaction on any of my videos gives me such a lift, and I really just want to thank you. So for the last couple of videos, I've been uploading on a Sunday at 5 p.m. I am going to try my best to continue with that, so you can expect to see some more regular content from me, and I'd be really open to hearing about what you guys would like to see, so that I can continue doing that. So thank you, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye.